did my MBA at Henley, and I also did, it was the year that I did it, or the years that I did it, they also offered it in Grenoble in France as an IT one. So I ended up with two, a general one at Henley, and then an IT MBA at Grenoble and Université en France. Je parle français, mais j'habite en Canada, so c'est normal, parle français. It was a great time at Henley. It was phenomenal. I remember the first time I drove in, I was like, oh, holy smokes! What? It was incredible, and they were using Lotus Notes. I was working for Lotus. Lotus is part of IBM. I was the marketing manager for Europe, or marketing director, and they were using Lotus Notes, and it was just, it was an amazing 3 years. And my dissertation I did on e-commerce, and of course that was the beginning of e-commerce, and nobody had any revenue yet on e-commerce. And they actually had to have my dissertation graded outside of Henley because they didn't have anybody internal who could grade it. So it was so funny because I had to rewrite part of it. Because they said, no, you can't use references from the internet. No, it's not valid. Just hilarious. So I learned a lot. I made some great friendships. It was a fabulous time. It was really, really special. So I'm a global project manager, and I ended up there because I had a history in sales first, then marketing, and then I moved back to Canada and moved to Calgary to marry somebody here. And Calgary was not international, and so I had to switch professions and became a project manager because we were in the middle of a recession, and joined Cisco. Worked for a couple of .coms first, and found I didn't really like working for .coms because they don't have any money. You can't market. So then joined Cisco as a project manager, and that's like almost 20 years ago now. And really liked it. So what Henley did was it just made me think globally, and that is incredible value as a project manager. So I've always run global projects because I have that background, and that was the big asset. And of course, the number of papers that you have to write. I wrote all my papers on IT. Within IBM. So they really encouraged that as well, and that really helped. And the other thing that helped was the people in my team, because of course back then you were in a team, and it was so diverse. We had a social worker, we had a nurse, we had marketing, we had someone who owned a farm, and then another guy who worked for the secure part of the government, like the secret part. So it was just fabulous, the listening to all the different parts, and that of course helped with project management as well, because I learned to value different perspectives. Very different perspectives, and that is the best team. Actually, has very different perspectives. People with very different skills. Those make the best team. The thing about IT now is it is so broad. IT is the underlying principle of everything. It's just, and that's why they call, digital natives are, of course, the children that are raised in IT. And I've always been an early adopter, always. And so moving into IT is just unnatural because it is the principle underlying every business. especially now with the pandemic and everybody going online. And understanding IT just forms a principle of life, I think. So it's and IT is also in every industry. So you actually don't have to even work for an IT company anymore. You can work in, just you have to understand it with any industry. But it moves so fast. Like right now, big data is huge. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, which one of my favorite topics, I love it, is fabulous. 5G is impacting everything. So it moves so fast that every day is a new day. It's so exciting. That's why whenever I mentor someone, I said, you are in the most exciting part of your whole career. Like and keep an open mind. Like when you're in IT, you need to keep an open mind. So when something comes forward, you go, oh, I'll learn about that. Or something else comes through, I'll learn about that. Because I think it helps life. This was days of punch cards, programming on COBOL and Fortran punch cards, which I remember spilling a bunch on the floor, the mainframe room. But I also remember the first time I saw a mainframe room at IBM. Oh my God. I thought I had died and gone to heaven. It was unbelievable. It was, oh my gosh, it was, of course you have to ventilate and, the whole, the floor with ventilation underneath, big equipment. It was amazing.